Well, hello and welcome to the blog rundown from Movie Burner Entertainment, where we discuss the latest written reviews from our writing team, and I'm joined as always by John here, and we're going to just delve right into this, John. This is a written review here from Darren, our senior writer that is, and this film is called The Endless from 2017, and it's directed by Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead, who also star in the movie.
Yeah, they're doing the whole double act thing where you obviously star, write and direct the film. It's a hard thing to do, it's a hard thing to pull off. We've seen it done by various different people over the years, the likes of Clint Eastwood and most recently Bradley Cooper as well.
Yes.
They've done it very well. Don't know whether they've done it well in this one, Stephen, because I haven't seen this film, admittedly. We spoke about this film, I think, maybe a few months back as well, and don't remember who reviewed it.
Yeah.
I may be mistaken when I say that, but I think it may have been D.M. Anderson or something that reviewed it.
Dave,
yeah, previously. It's obviously about kids who escape a UFO death cult, and then it does a little flash forward thing. They're now adults. They're trying to seek answers, and when an old videotape surfaces, it brings them back to where they began. So it sounds like an intriguing concept. It's got that hint of mystery, a little bit of drama in there, I presume, and it's got cults in it. So what more do you want in life, you know? You all like a good cult until they start going awry.
One of the things I picked up from the review, John, was that Darren said this himself, that you know, the filmmakers didn't really know what they were, they didn't know what they were doing, they didn't really know what they were doing in sense of genre here, whether it was going to be a thriller, a horror, or perhaps sci-fi. That Nicolas Cage one, The Unknown, do you remember that one from a few years ago?
Was that the one with the little kid things the time capsule?
Yeah, that's it,
that was a fantastic film.
It was a great film, but they didn't really know what genre to put it into, because it started off as a sort of thriller, mystery, then it started to get into a sort of sci-fi.
Yeah, we've seen that with the likes of Cloverfield Lane as well, Stephen 10 Cloverfield Lane a couple of years ago. It started off as like a sort of a siege horror, I don't want to say horror, siege sort of a thriller drama.
Yeah. We
didn't know what was going on upstairs. In this, they were down in this bunker essentially, a few metres below the ground, and obviously the inhabitants out with John Goodman were trying to ascertain what was going on above them, above the surface. And then as the film progressed, she finally escapes out of the bunker, and it descends into a completely different genre. It goes into sci-fi. Similar thing going on here by all accounts, judging by Darren's review, where it starts off as a kind of a drama film and then it goes off kilter a little bit. And we've seen that in the various films over the years. It's quite hard to pinpoint or shoehorn a story like this into a specific genre. So you may see it transcending multiple genres as the film progresses, and that's okay as long as the story's watertight and the performances are pretty good and the direction's good as well.
Yeah, Darren does say that the acting in it is pretty decent. The only thing that sort of lacks is the pacing of it. He says that it does drag out for, I think it's just just under 2 hours.
Yeah, an hour and 51 minutes,
you know, for a story to last that duration and
has to be captivating.
At a snail pace, you can lose your audience very quickly, John. But Darren's final thoughts are: it is an interesting think piece, but not a very satisfying movie experience. And yes, the title is important. It's just one of those movies.
Endless.
Yeah, exactly. It's endless.
Which I take in two ways: that it's never ending, and they can't get it finished in time, or that it's endless, there is no ending, it's very ambiguous. And I think Darren does say that in his review actually. He criticises the film for its ambiguity I should say, I mispronounced that there, caught myself though, for its ambiguity, and he likes intelligent films and directors giving a little bit of open-endedness for the audience to come in and watch it and maybe make up their own mind, but he thinks it's utilised a little bit too much here and that it suffers as a result. But I've never seen the film, Steve, so I can't really say one way or the other the merits of a film or not, but certainly Darren didn't get a great deal out of it. I can't recall the previous review and what, obviously the score or kind of a rating or just the general vibes of the film, what Dave was taking out of it.
I think Dave actually said something very similar to Darren in regards to it does have a kind of a Twilight Zone feel to it. The Twilight Zone worked because it was a television series for a very short duration of episodes, and that works for certain stories.
I do recall that review.
You try to stretch that story over a 2-hour film. It just doesn't work.
It's like the Thomas the Tank Engine film we were talking about. Try and take a 20-minute cartoon episode and spread it over a 2-hour film. It doesn't work quite so well. He gave it 5 out of 10 though, so it's an average experience by all accounts. But look, I've not got much more to add because I haven't seen it.
No.
And I'm going to move on to a film which I have seen. This one has been reviewed by Philip Henry, and it's Creed 2, obviously just released a couple of weeks ago. The sequel to the Ryan Coogler and obviously the Michael B. Jordan starred original Creed film from a few years back. This one's directed by Stephen Cable Jr. Ryan Coogler was off, I think, doing Black Panther at this point.
Yep.
And obviously stars the likes of Sylvester Stallone, he's back as Rocky Balboa, Michael B. Jordan, as I did say, and Tessa Thompson. And the plot's very simple, Stephen. It's basically picking up from the previous film. Adonis Creed gains the World Championship, and then he's kind of called out by the son of Ivan Drago, Victor Drago, to a fight. He's badly injured. Victor Drago punches him when he's knocked down, he's disqualified.
Yep.
And then we see him really doing a bit of soul searching, Adonis Creed, going off, trying to figure out why he wants to fight again, find his zest for getting back into the ring again. He's got the whole problems with his private life. He has a young daughter and there's issues with the complications with the baby after it's born. And then he goes off and we also get that final fight. I don't want to spoil it in case there's still people out there maybe watching this that haven't seen it, but you can't be too surprised about the ending.
No.
We've seen this done time and again, but as Phil does say in his review, it's handled very well.
Yeah.
There's a degree of repetition that you're always going to get in a film of this ilk, but they do subtle little change-ups and little different things in there which makes it, retains its a degree of originality. You know, it's not too repetitive, which we did see in numerous Rocky films.
The 8th film in the Rocky sort of franchise, if you like. I know it's a sort of a spin-off of that original series, but Philip's right, it does remind me a lot of Rocky 2 in regards to relationships, babies, you know, that kind of thing, you know, the ordinary stuff in life, you know. You said to me before, you saw the movie before me, John, and you did say that the film doesn't really play out like a boxing film, it's more like a sort of a drama, a real life drama, and it does have that to an extent, you know. Yeah,
there's some great quiet moments in there. You also get a couple of quick fire fights at the start. We see Victor Drago in action at first, so they can just lay down the groundwork of just what this guy is. He's a big, towering, foreboding beast of a man. He's got great strength like his father before him. He's a physical specimen. He just wipes the floor with his opponent, knocks him out. And then we see Adonis Creed coming in for a title challenge or a title fight. He wins the title against an aging boxer who's lost a bit of power in his obviously his hands. Then we go into the fight where Victor Drago calls out Adonis. We've got a couple of things in there before that, obviously with Rocky and Adonis. They fall out. Rocky tells him, look, don't fight him. He's got nothing to lose. A man that's got nothing to lose is a dangerous proposition. And then, obviously after he gets disqualified, Adonis is injured. It goes into more quieter moments. We don't see much fighting out with that. It focuses on his relationship with the Tessa Thompson character, who his name forgets me at the moment, but some amazing moments in there between those two actors. I think they're phenomenal. They're two of the best actors in today's industry. Michael B. Jordan's a real fun favourite of mine. He's outstanding as Adonis again here. You can see all of the angst, all of the emotion in his face, all of the doubt, and just the pain, or literal pain when he's getting punched in the ribs and breaking ribs. And as Phil does say, peeing blood into a bucket. It was something you would never have seen Sly Stallone do as Rocky back in the 70s and 80s. But yeah, there's some amazing moments in there, quiet moments, where it reflects on the personal tragedies, obviously with his father, trying to live up to this. Him trying to regain, as I said at the beginning of the discussion about this film, regain his zest for getting back in the ring. And this is just through obviously the birth of a daughter and discovering that she is deaf as well. And there's great acting between those two. You see it just through the facial.
John was in regards to the Drago part of the story was that this wasn't an out and out revenge. They were the baddies.
No.
Type of characters.
No, it's very much two perspectives.
They've got their own intentions, and it's not really down to you know, getting revenge over Balboa or Creeds or anything like that. It's more to do with redeeming their own sort of
their name and their honour.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and it's very character driven. The tone of the film I always felt was very much like Ryan Coogler's first movie. It was very similar in that sense. The pacing was a little different. This film was a lot quicker, I felt. It moved on very quickly. But we spoke about this you know, earlier this week in regards to that scene that I thought worked really well, and it kind of killed all my sort of anxieties over this film, was the scene in Adrian's, the restaurant, where Rocky and Ivan are having that discussion, and Rocky right away with one line just puts all the anxieties to bed by saying, wasn't that a million years ago?
Yes,
and it just hits home just how long ago it was. And to be fair to Ivan Drago, he didn't really dwell on it too much. He basically telling Rocky, this is what's happening now, and then deal with it, you know. And
it shows you the difference in obviously fortunes.
Yeah.
The two characters. Rocky's obviously, he's had his heartache in the years following on from Rocky 4, but he's had a slightly better time of it, I think, than Ivan. Also, Ivan was beaten in that fight, and he was ostracised from Russian society. The higher echelons, I think that says. I don't know if that's ever the case. I don't think he was ever mixing with like the fictional Putins of the Rockyverse. But he was ostracised, he lost his family unit, his wife, and it focuses on why they are trying to get in here and trying to regain their family honour. He's also brainwashing Victor to a degree. But we see some great moments in there. I can't remember the actress's name that played his wife, but she returns, and that was a great callback. Yeah. Bridget Nielsen, that was a fantastic callback. And I liked Dolph Lundgren as well in there. I thought he'd done a really good performance. Victor, I did mention when we first discussed this film in Box Office Chat, that I felt he was just a little bit two-dimensional. Yeah. But look, he's not an actor. The guy's a fighter who was brought in for his frame and his size, and obviously
the character was there to reintroduce Ivan.
I mean, I connected with him. I'd still connected with him, but he was fairly, I thought, just two-dimensional. But it didn't detract from the film or distract me in any way. And yeah, I mean, I liked the mixture of the quietness of those more personal moments, even in Victor and Ivan's side, with the traditional montages, the training montages. Yeah. And that's the moment out in the desert when he really does regain his zest. He goes out, separates himself from also the city life and the newborn baby and the personal difficulties that's going on at that stage in his life. He goes out there, refocuses on training for this fight. It was amazing seeing that moment again, running out in the desert. We've seen the hints of it in the trailer. And the close quarter combat training to be able to deal with the strength, close quarters, putting his foot in the tyre and stuff like that. That was great. And then into that culminative fight at the end. I really enjoyed it. It
was good to see the original actor return to play Robert Balboa as well.
Yeah, Robert Balboa.
Although it was very brief at the very end. It was a nice tie-in. But that's what it's all about. You know, it's tying in this, they should call it John the Rockyverse. Yeah. Having those little elements in it. And to be fair, it wasn't about Rocky, this movie. No. But to be fair to Sly Stallone, I thought he played a really good part in this. Just enough. Yeah. Didn't overshadow the story of Creed and Adonis.
Oh yeah, he was passing on the pearl of wisdoms. Yeah. And he says to him at the end of the fight, this is your time now. And he obviously sits back. That was a fantastic shot. Really enjoyed that wide shot of him sitting alone in the chairs as they're all going up into the ring at the end of the fight at the end. And then also, as you did say, that moment at the end with his son, that's him just again, the director and the film just again reinforcing that he's now taking a step away. He's going to reconnect with his estranged family and become more of a family man and allow Adonis to have his own breathing room and his own story. So that was a great ending to obviously Creed 2. I'll be intrigued to see where they go with potential Creed 3. Will we see Clubber Lang coming back? Can they shoehorn him in without Rocky there?
Rocky Balboa, yeah, coming back because Sly Stallone said he's done with the franchise, so it would be a bit of shoehorning, John.
Yeah. But we will move on, Stephen, to the third and final film of this blog rundown episode, and it is a film that we've both seen, and I think we both spoke about before. I think you actually did a review of it yourself. It's Peppermint from 2018, obviously this year, although if you are then watching this episode in 2019, it's 2018 it was released. This is directed by Pierre Morel and it's written by Chad St. John, and it stars Jennifer Garner and John Gallagher Jr. and it also stars John Ortiz as well. And this is basically a classic revenge story. She loses her husband and her daughter at the start in tragic circumstances. I think it's like a Latino sort of a gang. Yeah. They shoot them up. And also the name of the film is garnered from the flavour of ice cream a young daughter picks at the start of the film before she's tragically killed. Peppermint flavoured ice cream. And she's just she's in a fragile mental state at the court. There's a corrupt judge and a corrupt law enforcement around about it. The guys that kill her family get let off. She gets sent away to a mental institution, but she somehow escapes. And then it comes back again, and it's just a classic revenge film.
Well, I was going to say that, John. It takes elements from the likes of Death Wish, Death Sentence, the Kevin Bacon one. You've also got a bit of Taken in there as well. It's got all those elements, but I thought Jennifer Garner carried the movie. I thought she did well in regards to the character's portrayal and the turn in her character as well. I know that it's set 5 years after those tragic events, which is it's a little trick that filmmakers like to do, so they don't have to do too much character development. They just totally, it's a night and day character from one, you know.
It allows them to maintain the quick pacing of the film. It doesn't disrupt the tone of it any, and it's a get out, as you did say, Stephen, for them explaining why this person's now so good at obviously possessing guns and being able to use them and things like that, which was something that bothered me with Death Wish from this year with Bruce Willis, because he was playing like a surgeon,
that's right,
and then there's no real time jump. He just all of a sudden turns away from being a libertarian, a liberal guy that's anti-gun, to becoming a pro-gun guy who can handle any gun. And he can, well, I wouldn't say handle it, because there was moments where he was quite poor with the gun and shooting, but it's too quick, it's too much too soon. With this, they get round it by doing the 5-year time jump. But I completely agree with you. I really did enjoy Jennifer Garner in this film. I thought she was a believable action hero. I got on board with her plight, essentially, the heartache of losing her family. Totally got on board with her story of wanting to essentially overcome the corrupt system and take them out herself. I loved the revenge story. I really enjoy a good revenge flick. As you did say, Death Sentence, Kevin Bacon, that was a fantastic film. I liked Death Wish this year, as did Dave, incidentally. He says that in his film. He's got a bit of a guilty pleasure for a revenge film. I'm the same. Really enjoy the John Wick films. Certainly that first John Wick film, which was a complete revenge film. His dog gets killed. He goes on the absolute rampage. And that was a fantastic film, incidentally, as well. And I really enjoyed John Gallagher Jr. in it as well. He's always reliable, I've seen him playing the antagonistic figure in Hush. He was really good in that. That was another good film I enjoyed. I think it was from maybe last year, this year. It was round about that anyway. And he's playing a kind of a weaselly figure. He's an informant, police, double cover police officer. I don't want to say double cover because he's not.
It's a bit obvious though. That's only
Dave does say that. Character. He does say that in the review as well. You can see it coming a mile away who the informant is. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was quick paced, very violent, but there's a couple of niggles in there.
Yeah, Riley, that was her name, wasn't it? Jennifer Garner's character. The ending was a bit disappointing to me. I felt that perhaps she should have. Spoiler alert. I perhaps felt that she should have died at the end of this. She should have, to join her family.
It would have been a more fitting ending.
But they've left it open ended for sequels and stuff like that. And I don't like that because I felt the movie was a
great self-contained story.
Exactly. Took the words right out of my mouth there, John. But you're right.
And the fact that they don't really show you the perpetrator, the guy. I can't remember what the name of it is. It's like a Latino sort of a gang. There's a name for it, cartel. Maybe.
That's it,
They don't show that guy getting these just desserts, which is something I really enjoy in a good revenge film. And you need to see the guy that's been the perpetrator of all this hideous crimes getting his just desserts.
I think the point of the film though was that Riley was her own sort of her own villain, if you like. You know, she became the person and the people she hated essentially. I think that was the point, although it wasn't as well explained, you know, but. I get what you mean, John. I think they should have maybe dealt with him a little bit more abruptly, if you like, you know.
I find it very interesting, you know, to Rotten Tomatoes, though, the disconnect between the audience and the critic scores. The audience only gave us, or the audience gave it a 74% rating, I should say. They gave it a very favourable rating, they enjoyed it, and the main critics just 11%. So again, you're getting that disconnect. But to be fair, a lot of the critics are liberal-minded, Stephen, and they're very anti-gun. With the violence that's erupting in America, also, I say erupting, you put out a fantastic stat on Facebook a couple of weeks back. There's something like 1.4 million people have died since the death of John Lennon in 1980 in the United States alone, so it's not something that's just erupting recently, but with it becoming more prominent, also with the lunatic I was about to say George Bush. The lunatic that is Donald Trump in power, obviously appeasing these nut job right wingers.
One thing I will say though, John, is that I think
it's become a more prominent
in the words
issue.
of Rocky Balboa, is that the world isn't all sunshine and rainbows. You know?
It isn't, no. But with them being more liberal-minded and anti-gun, they're never going to connect with a film like this, Stephen. So you're going to have this disconnect. We've seen it with Death Wish as well, the Bruce Willis film from this year. They didn't enjoy that film, and that's purely because of that difference of opinion on obviously politics and stuff like that and gun control over in the United States. But I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed Death Wish too.
I thought it was thoroughly enjoyable as well. But that just brings us to the end of this week's blog rundown. I'd just like to thank you once again for joining us, and if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, that would be greatly appreciated, and we will join you tomorrow for the Force Friday show.